And we had the moment finally where he caught the end of days out of nowhere, and everyone in that building, I could feel it when I was lying there. I could see when I'm watching it back, and I could see with the reaction on the internet. People went, "Oh God, Corbin's won it." And that was the point of the match where we had them. And that's what it's all about, is no matter what you think, is catching the crowd, losing them in the match. And that was the moment where everybody got lost 100%. And his reaction to it was great. The next time he hits it, no one's going to think someone's going to kick out. Like, it's like the stunner's been kicked out, Claymore's been kicked out. Well, as long as it's done in the right occasion, done the right way, and enhances what's going on in the ring, it's nothing wrong with it. So it's cool to see I'm the first one to do it.
This is a special presentation for the Bleav in Pro Wrestling podcast. Here's Rick Ucchino on the Bleav Podcast Network.
What is going on, you guys? Rick Ucchino here for the Bleav in Pro Wrestling podcast, available everywhere you can get your podcasts, including the iHeartRadio app, and of course right here on the Bleav in Pro Wrestling YouTube channel. My guest at this time, big matchup, WrestleMania Backlash. He is ready to whoop some Bloodline ass like he works for Dave Chappelle Security Detail. He is Drew McIntyre here joining us today. Drew, how are we doing? Good, man. It's been a bit since we've chatted.
It's been a minute, but it's good to be chatting about WrestleMania Backlash, about everything else we're going to chat about. I was just in Wales a minute ago, it felt like, then Newcastle, then London, then Paris, then Germany, then Greensboro. Now I'm here.
That is, man, that is quite the trek around the world. You probably don't even know what time zone you're in right now, but you're going to be doing a lot of traveling, but maybe, you're going to be home a lot this summer. You got two big shows. Obviously, we're here to talk about WrestleMania Backlash, but just looking ahead here, got two big shows, one in your home away from home, which is Nashville, SummerSlam. And then finally, you're getting your big UK tour stadium show that you have been campaigning for years to get this done. I have this sense, now tell me if you agree with this. I have a sense that this is about to be the summer of Drew McIntyre. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I do. And what summer it would be. Yeah, like you say, we've got a few big shows coming up, and specifically the local show where I'm sitting right now, 15 minutes from my doorstep at Nissan Stadium. We got SummerSlam, and I'm the Scottish cowboy these days, the Nashville Warrior these days, the hometown boy. So that's going to be a pretty special show, but also my actual home in the UK. We've got the stadium show, Clash of the Castle, September 3rd. It's finally happened. Can't believe it's happening, but it's actually finally happening. And I don't know what match I'm going to have. It's 5 months from now. Won't play fantasy booker, but be cool to be champion or be fighting for a title there.
I was going to say, you told right SI earlier this week that your dream scenario would be to fight for the championship and win it in front of that home crowd and get that atmosphere. But I could also see like a scenario shaking out where you're already the champion heading into Clash at the Castle, and maybe you're fighting a guy like, I don't know, Tyson Fury, who continues to have your name in his mouth. Is this kind of just like one of those win-win situations where it's a big show, you have a feeling you're going to have a huge role somewhere on this program?
I mean, you can never assume anything in WWE. You assume or get complacent. There's the second things don't happen, but I know I'm going to be working hard. And as much as it makes sense, it's still going to take all that work and all that consistency on TV and off TV to make things happen. So, yeah, doesn't matter if I'm champion, not champion. I ideally would like to fight for the title, but if I go in there as champion and maybe Tyson Fury picks up the phone finally, as I keep telling him, talk about me all you want. I appreciate the publicity, but our number. Give us a call, and maybe we can make something happen.
Like I said, you have been campaigning for this, trying to manifest this big stadium show to happen in the UK, and obviously for good reason. The response, from the pre-sales and the tickets and everything has been huge over there. But when you finally found out that this was actually going down again this September, what was that feeling like, knowing that you guys were going to be able to put on this big show over there?
Yeah, it was a pretty cool feeling, especially being something that I've dreamt about, talked about, and then actively been pushing for a few years now. And I'd heard it was a possibility. Then I'd got to meet, the team that were hopefully going to be putting on the event in Cardiff in Wales. And I still didn't believe it was going to happen, because nothing's official till it's official in entertainment and WWE. So it wasn't until we made the public announcement that I finally believed, okay, this is real, this is happening, and was able to take a second and go, all right, we did it. This is pretty freaking cool. And it wasn't just me, obviously. I was talking about our amazing team at WWE. the committee in Cardiff all working together, making this happen. But I do know one thing: if it didn't have the response it had, or it was a lackluster response, everyone publicly would point right at this guy and go, "You were freaking wrong." So I'm very happy that we broke a bunch of records with the pre-registration.
And again, we're looking ahead, SummerSlam, Clash at the Castle, some big matches possibly there. You are starting to work with Roman Reigns here a little bit, and that is the goal, to get that championship, the WWE Universal Championship. But first things first, you got to knock the tribal chief, kind of off the head of the table, and that starts this weekend at WrestleMania Backlash, big 6-man tag team match. And I know a lot of people were looking forward to that title unification tag team match between the Usos and RK Bro, but there's a lot to like about this matchup as well, now that yourself and Roman Reigns have been added to the mix.
Oh yeah, this is going to be a fun match. Let's say in the very least, there's a lot of combustible elements, a lot of very established characters in there, and a lot of beef with the tag teams. And myself and Roman with the history, but then the dynamic of the history of myself and Randy as well. So there's a lot going on in that match, and it's going to be a fun match to watch for everybody in the arena, everybody at home, but also a fun match to be part of on such a big event. Well, matches like Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey in an I Quit match. I'm looking forward to that myself, and seeing what Cody can do on his second big show since returning against Seth Rollins. So this is going to be a really cool event all around, and an opportunity for me to show I deserve that big match with Roman Reigns.
You talked about the history with Randy Orton that you guys have kind of on screen buried the hatchet a little bit. Is it kind of weird being on the same side of things now with Randy Orton after the year that you guys had?
Yeah, very. It was kicking me in the head at one point and eliminating every legend in sight, and I was trying to protect all the legends. I turned my back for a second, he take out another legend. So it's interesting to see where he's at now, where he's smiling all the time and having fun, not just on screen, but off screen as well. So it's cool to see, this version of Randy. And, as long as we've got the same common goal of taking out the bloodline, then he's good with me. And it'll be very interesting to be not only on the same page, but literally tagging together this Sunday at Backlash. And with Riddle there, I'm sure both of us will be smiling, because there's nobody that makes anyone smile more than Riddle. So we'll be smiling up until the bell rings. Then we'll be kicking butt and smiling again, celebrating our victory.
Yeah, it's you can clearly see on television that he's having the time of his life and playing up to the crowd and everything. Like it's almost hard to believe a guy who literally just celebrated 20 years in the business might be better than he's ever been at this point and is still going strong. It's kind of weird to say that, but it's an argument that can be made on that. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think the more relaxed you are, the more fun you're having, the more fun the crowd see you're having, then they start having fun with you. And I think as long as Randy's been around, he was still somehow not fully relaxed, and he was still better than basically everyone of all time. Now he's completely relaxed. He's totally having fun, 100%. Everyone can see that, and he wants them to have fun with them, and they're having fun with them. And every time he's out there, there's like a little party with himself, Riddle, and the audience. And then I get to be involved in this party on Sunday.
WrestleMania Backlash, obviously coming on the heels of WrestleMania. You wrapped up a program with Baron Corbin and Madcap Moss, and I thought, for my money, you two, yourself and Baron Corbin, had one of the most fun matches on that entire WrestleMania weekend. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Baron Corbin does great work. I wish people would stop, sleeping on him so much, because he is really, really talented. But the thing that really kind of stood out to me in that match was the fact that you kicked out of End of Days. That has never happened before. Did you know that finisher was as protected as it was heading into that match, and that you were going to be the first guy to kind of kick out of that one?
Yeah, I was very aware that I'd never been kicked out of, because Corbin talks about it so much, and rightfully so. I know it's a finish that has never been kicked out of before. It's a finish that looks so impressive. He's able to do it to everybody. They always say, do a finish you can do to everybody, which means don't lift up the guy. But he's somebody so big and strong, he can literally lift everyone up. And I wouldn't be surprised if he could even do it to Almost. He's legitimately 6'6", 6'7", very, very strong. And the fact that I know I kicked out was a very special moment in the match, because I think in the back of a lot of people's minds, they figured, the match has finally happened. It's took 6 months to get them in the ring, but Drew's going to win this one and head on to whatever he's going to head on to. And that was the moment of the match where I missed the Claymore. He tried the End of Days. I landed in my feet. And we had the moment finally where he caught the end of days out of nowhere, and everyone in that building, I could feel it when I was lying there. I could see when I'm watching it back, and I could see with the reaction on the internet. People went, "Oh God, Corbin's won it." And that was the point of the match where we had them. And that's what it's all about, is no matter what you think, is catching the crowd, losing them in the match. And that was the moment where everybody got lost 100%. And his reaction to it was great. The next time he hits it, no one's going to think someone's going to kick out. Like, it's like the Stunner's been kicked out, Claymore's been kicked out. Well, as long as it's done in the right occasion, done the right way, and enhances what's going on in the ring, it's nothing wrong with it. So it's cool to see I'm the first one to do it.
Yeah, it was a really, really cool moment. And I know you say he talks about it all the time, and I'm sure he would, because like I've spoken to him in the past before, and we talked about, how much he really enjoyed that, and he wanted that first time that it happened to be a really big moment, and for it to happen on WrestleMania. I think all of that worked out. I don't know how he feels about it now that it's actually happened. So now he doesn't have that anymore. But again, he continues to do great work, and it was great to watch you guys work. And honestly, the same with Madcap Moss as well. This is somebody I know you have spoken very highly of in the past. And now he's starting to have more success. He and Corbin are going to be fighting each other now on the main roster. And it's great to see him start to have the success. But more importantly, it's great to just see him healthy and in the ring, as after that incredibly scary spot that happened at Elimination Chamber. That was heart-stopping to watch on TV. I can't imagine what it was like, kind of in that moment. If you're willing to kind of take me back on, what was going on in that situation there?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, we're very glad, very grateful that he's okay. I was very fortunate. Especially after seeing it back in the moment, I knew something hadn't gone right. There's a certain way that the maneuver is supposed to go, and I could tell halfway through it wasn't going that way, and I tried to readjust, but unfortunately, let's just say he zigged when he should have zagged. And nonetheless, I knew it landed awkwardly. Was like, oh, I hope he's okay. I didn't realize how bad it actually was, but we've got a protocol. We make sure superstars are okay when something happens in the ring, and that protocol was followed, making sure he was okay. He was able to continue. And then on top of that, I always make sure if something happens, if the opponent's okay, I look them in the eye and I can tell if they're either, just trying to get by or if they're shaking up. He was completely fine. It was amazing, actually, considering when I watched it back afterwards, how fine he was in the moment. And I don't know, sheer luck, his football background, his weight training background, whatever it was, he was completely fine. He finished the match, he's tough as nails. And then when I watched it back, I was like, my goodness, like, it was very, very fortunate. And we're all very grateful that he's doing good now, and he's getting the opportunity to show what he's capable of, because he's somebody I've known for a long time, is very good, looks the part, works hard, and gives it his all every time. And now he's getting to show that.
Yeah, it's hard to look that good in short shorts and suspenders, but somehow, he definitely pulls it off. Yeah, and again,
he wore the shirt at one point, and I remember he did the impression of it one week where he was wearing the kilt, and like came out and did the Scottish accent, which is pretty funny. He sounded probably more Scottish than me, even though I am Scottish. And as soon as I saw it, I went, "There's no way he's wearing a shirt ever again." Look how jacked he is.
Oh man, but yeah, it's good to see him progress. Looking forward to that matchup this weekend. Looking forward to you as well. Just kind of sum up real quick, what can people expect out of this big 6-man tag match Sunday, WrestleMania Backlash in Providence, Rhode Island?
In one word, chaos. I can expect exciting action. That's a given with the superstars in there, but also, superstars at a level that are going to make you, feel all kinds of emotions. There's going to be some big moments in there, and I just can't wait for the physicality. That's my favorite part, is I'm going to be raining bombs down on the Bloodline and Roman Reigns' face. And in the end, my big boot is going to be kicking him square in the nose. I'm looking for that pinfall, not just in anybody, but on Roman himself.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've seen that actually happen. And every time you and Roman are in the ring, it's always really good stuff. Always great to talk to you, Drew. Good to catch up, and we'll do it again down the line, I'm sure.
Okay. Thanks for having me, buddy. And I will see you soon.